Another day, another David Hogg activism group. I mean, it seems like this guy collects groups and packs like Pokemon. His latest venture is something called the Leaders We Deserve PAC, which he says he created to help elect progressives under 30 for state positions and under 35 for Congress. He says this new PAC is desperately needed because young people are under attack. It turns out the PAC donors got exactly what they deserved by trusting Hogg when he spent nearly all of the donations on trips and DoorDash. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We recently talked about David Hogg when he admitted to spending a ton of money on a website where you can make illegal AI spam calls to Congress, and made a brag tweet about it just a week after the FCC announced the practice was illegal. A lot of his behavior seems scammy, attention-seeking, and underhanded, yet all he has to do is announce yet another activism project and people send him millions of dollars. He also says that society doesn't value Gen Z, and that's why this new venture is needed, to prove that Gen Z is smart, capable, and is the way to move forward towards a better America. By stealing their money, apparently. But before we get into this comedy gold, here is a word about today's sponsor, American Hartford Gold. Now, I am a firm believer in diversifying against inflation, currency wars, failing banks, and what seems like ever-increasing threats of civil war brought on by government tyranny. That might be things like food and ammo, but it also includes precious metals. American Hartford Gold gives folks all kinds of options, from gold, silver, and platinum bars and coins delivered to your doorstep to the ability to invest them in a retirement account like an IRA or 401k. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, have a 5-star consumer satisfaction rating across multiple platforms, and are ranked as the #1 gold company in the country. And if you ever find yourself in a bind and need to sell, they also offer a buyback commitment, so there's really no reason not to invest. And if you tell them that I sent you, they will give you up to $15,000 of free silver on your first order. And to make it extra convenient, there are 3 ways to get your hookup. You can click the link in the description, call the number right here on your screen, or text the word DOLL, that's DOLL, to 65532. The Leaders We Deserve PAC was founded after the 2022 midterms with Kevin Leda, the campaign manager for Rep. Maxwell Frost, a Gen Z Democrat elected in Florida in 2022. Hogg went on NPR telling folks it was yet another political movement born out of rebellion of Trump's presidency. That ended 2 years before he created the PAC, but whatever. He said the goal of the PAC is to pick the best grassroots candidates under 30 and 35, depending on the race, and basically teach them how to be politicians and then get them elected. We're trying to pick them and say, you know, we would like to help you run for office, we'll supply you with all of the resources that you need and help you basically coach you and hold your hand to get there, which is kind of the gap that's in the space right now for at least young people at the state legislative level, he told NPR. But the problem with PACs, at least for Hogg, is that their spending records are easily accessible with FEC filings. The PAC got a bit over $3 million in 2023, and according to FEC records, they only spent $263,000 on their stated mission of electing new candidates. Apparently, hand-holding is very cheap. They only worked with 4 candidates the entire year, with one of them being Frost, who was already in Congress. The rest of it was divvied up between Hogg and Leda, $90,000 between the two of them in just the first couple months of the PAC's existence, on top of a luxurious budget for their travel, hotels, meals, and DoorDash orders. What didn't go in their pockets went to various consulting firms for vague things like SMS texting or paying Hillary Clinton's campaign fixer, who is not doing much good for Hogg at all. Anyway, according to the FEC filings, most of the PAC's donors were regular, everyday people donating less than $250 at a time. There were some big-ticket donors, like $41,000 across 3 transfers from another one of Hogg's PACs called Ban Assault Weapons Now, which seems like a great way to move around and try to hide money. as well as a few $1,000s from anti-gun politicians and advocates, like $1,000 from former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick, $25,000 from a former Obama gun control advisor, and $5,000 from Bill Clinton's Deputy Attorney General. There's also a couple $5,000 from higher-ups at Harvard, where Hogg is a student, which is also a little eyebrow-raising. But all of the big money, big dame donations amount to only about $400,000. The rest came from regular people who sadly did not realize they were funding the modern equivalent of a snake oil salesman. Besides Leda and Hogg's hefty payrolls, the expenditures include $83,000 to Mark Elias at Elias Law Group, who worked with the Hillary Clinton campaign, hired Fusion GPS for the famous Steele dossier featuring Trump and the peeing Russians, $51,000 to a group called Accelerate Political Advisors for who knows what, $28,000 for communications consulting to a group called Liftoff Campaigns, $60,000 for strategic consulting from Lim Consulting Services, $25,000 to B Compliance LLC for undisclosed expenses, $550,000 to consulting firm Middle Seat for digital consulting, texting, and digital ads, though those ads weren't for any of the 4 candidates they were supposedly helping, so again, who knows? And $563,000 for more consulting from Grassroots Analytics LLC, largely spent on SMS texting. Again, not on the candidates they were supposed to be campaigning for, so I'm guessing they were spending money on texts to raise more money? And this was all over the period of around 6 months because the PAC wasn't even started until the summer. Hogg and Leda also spent $36,000 on Uber and Lyft rides, luxurious flights and hotels, restaurants, and meal delivery for themselves over a period of about 5 months, on top of their $90,000 salaries. Definitely something shady. As for the $263,000 actually spent on candidates, more than half of that went to 26-year-old Sylvia Swain, a trans person campaigning in Alabama whose sole claim to fame was being the first Alabama trans candidate, and who unsurprisingly lost the primary in a special election runoff. Swain had no prior political experience and claimed to represent the everyday Alabamian, and campaigned mostly on TikTok on a platform of putting the trans in transparency, expanding Medicaid, expanding mail-in voting, and creating prison diversion programs for criminals, including giving them priority for medical marijuana licenses. So yes, Swain lost, and lost badly, despite their big feature in Teen Vogue. Color me surprised. Another $100,000 went to Nadarius Clark for his election to the Virginia House of Delegates. That one actually won. $5,000 went to a former Miss Texas winner who is running as a Democrat, and then $3,000 was spent on Frost, who was already in office, though they did cut another $3,300 check to Frost's Love Supreme PAC. The rest of that $263,000 was donated to random blue causes. So for all of Hogg's claims of supporting Gen Z candidates for office, it seems the only Gen Z person he's supporting is himself. Though I do wonder, between all the money he's been raking in and swindling from donors, how much money this kid is actually making. If nothing else, it shows that he definitely has the makings of a great Democrat politician. That is it for this video, guys. When I saw this story, I just had to cover it because, I mean, David Hogg is just the, I don't know, annoying little social media kid that everyone loves to hate because he's just so grimy and annoying and clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. Though, on some level, I do have to appreciate the hustle. But anyways, please do all of the algorithm things, like, share, and subscribe if you are new here. Ring that notification bell, drop a comment down below, and as always, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.